Charlestown liquid loans will launch sooner than you think, dog. I have no expectations that any project will launch ever because every time I hear a date or otherwise, it turns out it's usually been pushed out for one reason or another. Obviously, for a lot of legitimate ones too. But yeah, how close do you think we are, Jesse?
I believe that liquid loans will probably launch at some point this week.
Ooh, this week. All right.
Maybe next, but probably this
Maybe
week.
next. By 2023, you're calling it 2023 though, right?
Oh yeah, by 2023.
Okay, I'd be happy with that. I think I think maybe if nothing else, I mean, I don't need to be happy with anything, but I think if anyone was going to be like, all right, this if things launch in 2024 that have that people have been waiting on SAC for a long time ago or whatever, 2023 sounds much better than 2024. So I think I could care less if it's this week, next week, or the week of Christmas. I think people be happy with that. We got the chats going crazy with 2 more weeks now. Yes, 2 more. That's what Jesse said. Basically, within 2 weeks is his guess.
Earn is closely behind, by the way. So the way you'll see PowerCity roll out, I think next you're going to see Amplifier on testnet. Right now we're doing our final integrations with Fetch. Fetch is live on mainnet. We've submit some PRs with our price feed to the Fetch team. Those are being reviewed and by both their dev team and our dev team, coming to a consensus on what a good price feed script looks like. So that's all literally being handled right now. Once that's accepted, we're pretty much ready to go, but we have a sequence, an order of events that we'd like to do. So while we're doing that, we currently are prepping and going through some dry runs so that we can launch Amplifier on testnet for everyone to play with. I think you'll see liquid loans launch within the next week or so. Followed in succession by that. By the way, you got to let the dust settle a little bit. So it's not like, oh, liquid loans is live, let's launch Earn protocol like within the same hour. That's kind of silly, unnecessary, causes too much confusion in the community. It's unnecessary. So what I think you'll see is, liquid loans go live. You'll then see, not too long after that, like maybe a few days or something, you'll see our core go live. Now remember, our core is where you can stake and get watt tokens and get some AMP shares and all sorts of stuff for all the fees from all our protocols. You need to have that live so everyone can position themselves how they want to be positioned. Next, you'll see Amplifier launch for liquid loans, Amplifier launch for Earn protocol, right along with Earn protocol. All this within like maybe like a 2-week period or so, a 2 to 4 week period. We want to see some activity on each one of our things. You don't necessarily want to see them all launch all on the same day because literally it causes too much confusion. And it's hard to answer everyone's questions too. So when people are in Telegram and there's 50 people asking questions about Earn and you got these other 50 people asking questions about Core, it starts to get really hard. So launch in succession makes the most sense.
So liquid loans will be first, though. It sounds like you're saying it first, and then
you'll see liquid loans first. Yep. I mean, you may see our Amplifier before that comes out on testnet, just so people can get used to it and play with it real quick while they're waiting for liquid loans. But if liquid loans launches like tomorrow, that's not going to be the case. So at least on mainnet, you'll see liquid loans first. You'll see a little pause. You'll see core. You'll see Amplifier. You'll see Earn. You'll see Amplifier on top of Earn. And for those that don't know, Amplifier is a front end that interacts with liquid loans with some additional features in there where you can do some automations if you choose.
Nice.
So for that, you have to have liquid loans first anyway, right? You can't launch Amplifier a front end of something that doesn't exist yet. You know what I mean?
Well, you certainly can. However, is it advisable? But maybe not.
Right. It's already built. We need to see liquid loans launch, and then you'll see that launch, right?
Yeah. Is there anything else juicy PowerCity stuff that as far as updates or otherwise go? Or are we just waiting on the launch? Sound like Fetch is here, so we got that big part out of the way. Is that we're just waiting on the LL now?
I don't like to say we're waiting on them because, like, technically we could just launch our core, but you have to remember that the core is where people stake for all sorts of various fees. So where would the fees come from if liquid loans doesn't exist yet? If we haven't launched Earn Protocol first, and there's some of those fees that are flowing to the core, like, you know what I mean? So it's not that we are waiting for liquid loans, but it's not like we actually have a good reason to, because you don't want to see the core with nothing being fed into it.
I've seen worse, Jesse. I've seen worse products. Yeah, that totally makes sense. That's it's exciting. I know a lot of people have been waiting for it for a while. It was PulseChain. PulseChain launched, everyone. I don't know if anyone realized that, but PulseChain did launch back in mid-May. That happened. It's kind of unbelievable. Still, if you zoom out and be like, "Wow, you got your coins." Oh no, price went down. When price go up, Jesse? When there's been all kinds of stuff going on, macros. We got everything going on in the world. We've got Binance stuff happening. What does it feel like to you that just generally in crypto? And I mean, do you think if Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum goes up, or is everyone, if we go back onto risk on, PulseChain go up? Like, do we have the products in place to make all this stuff happen?
I think so, especially after you see all this stuff launch. But there are outside factors that often have a bigger role in price discovery, or price negative, than just correlation or cool protocols. Like, there's things that make people dump their tokens, and those things are like news events that are scary, right? So Richard Hart and the SEC, okay, it was scary for a lot of people, and people said, that's too scary, let me go dump my Pulse, right? And people dumped Pulse really, really hard when they heard that the SEC issued a lawsuit. Should something like that happen again, or I mean, he's still in the kind of in the middle of that. If the next court order thing doesn't seem positive and it's more negative than positive, you can always expect people are going to get scared and just go dump again. Always happens. News that's scary makes people dump. News that's good and exciting for the future makes people want to go buy some more. And those things often drive the price way more than the adoption levels you get from a singular protocol, whether that's Coast or PHUX or Earn Protocol or Liquid Loans. Literally, the news events have bigger price impact than the adoption brings from a single protocol, usually.